What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to check out the Age of Ultron twins. That's right, both Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Originally I was just going to team them up together, but we'll do that in another video. Instead, I'm going to try out two team-ups that I think are going to be great for each one of them. So, one team-up each, I don't want to confuse anyone. First though, we will take a look at each costume, and then after that, we'll head into PvP. First of all, thank you to Hayden for the graphic, and secondly, on to Quicksilver's Age of Ultron alternate costume. He's going to have a Scrapper costume for 34 CP, and also a Blaster alternate for 48 CP. I'm very interested in trying out the Blaster, so that's what we're going to use first. Now the Avengers Age of Ultron Quicksilver first has Self-Sacrifice. Protects and counters attacks against allies that have low health. He will try to take the first turn and he takes 2 actions every round. Then his Avengers passive is, you didn't see that coming? Avengers Age of Ultron Avengers have a chance to interrupt and counter melee attacks. That is a ridiculous passive. And let me tell you, it procs all the time. This guy, dare I say, is overpowered. But hey, we'll take advantage of it and we'll purchase the Scrapper and the Blaster. If you're looking to get just one, I would say go for the Blaster. We're actually going to equip that now because of the hero bonus. So we've just boosted our attack. We'll get this costume set up, and right now we're going to move on to Scarlet Witch. Wanda has a 34 CP Blaster costume and a 48 CP Infiltrator. Once again, I would go for the Blaster, but that's just me. The Infiltrator will cost 48 CP, and she comes with Reality Warping. Probability Manipulation grants a 20% chance to avoid attacks. Next, she has Sooner or Later. Attacks have a chance to apply Reduced Potential. And finally, everybody's afraid of something. Age of Ultron Avengers attacks gain random attributes each round as long as Scarlet Witch is present. And we'll see what that means once we use her in combat. So once again, we're going to purchase both costumes, and we're going to equip the Blaster. Attack bonus is much more important than Infiltrator evasion, especially since evasion really can't be relied upon. By the way, they reordered the costumes and it kinda threw me off. But anyways, like I said, we're getting both, and equipping the Blaster. Then we'll just set these up and head into Season 23. Now the first team up is going to be my favorite, and of course it's Quicksilver and Hawkeye, both Age of Ultron. Since my agent has a Legion Pulse Rifle, that means everyone on my team has a chance to interrupt and counter both melee and ranged attacks. The enemy team does have Iron Fist, which is very annoying, and he's showing up on just about every single team. But our interrupts are still going to be in full effect. Still though, because of Combo Breaker on Iron Fist and the enemy agent, you may want to apply off balance, and we're going to do that with the Neuropurge. We end up getting hit with Combo Breaker, but we still interrupt Enchantress, and we stop her attack. Then we're going to use the Neuropurge. So like I said, that applies off balance to the entire enemy team. It's a pretty great quick action gadget if you have it. Next, we'll just use the Blackest Void and disorient the enemy team. With the enemy Iron Fist next to go, he punches his own Enchantress. So you gotta love when Disoriented kicks in right away. That instant gratification just feels amazing. Now with our Hawkeye, we're going to go ahead and use Pinpoint Target on Enchantress, and then we can try to stun her with a Trick Arrow. It's one way to hopefully slow down her ridiculous debuffs. And also we're going to get a follow-up Sure Shot. Next, you can really see the enemy is set up to stop counters and follow-up attacks, because he even has the Raft Shank. This is basically what a lot of people are doing, and I don't blame them. But fortunately for us, Quicksilver is able to take down Enchantress. Then following that, we're going to use the Light Fantastic and wipe any debuffs. This also gives us Mirror Reality, so it will help us out as far as healing on the next enemy attack. We do get an interrupt on Iron Fist, which causes Hawkeye to hit him with a Sure Shot. but he still gets to attack in this case. The extra damage though is nice. Then as soon as I use Pinpoint Target, I realize he's preventing debuffs. So that was a wasted move. But the really important thing is that we take down Iron Fist before his next turn and he gets a chance to heal. So with our Blaster Quicksilver, we're going to use our level 1 on Iron Fist, and then we'll go ahead and use it again. This is going to take down the enemy and leave us 3-on-1. Now in this match we've seen a few interrupts, but I've seen it go absolutely insane. So don't worry, we'll take another look at this team later, in another video. As well as a few other Age of Ultron team-ups for Quicksilver. But following this win, we're going to take a look at his sister, and you'll see exactly what her passive does. It's pretty impressive as well. So I have to say, I think they did a good job on the twins. Alright, so that's the end of Agent Heineken, and another win in the books. I know that wasn't actually his name. But moving on to Wanda and Hulk. Now I figured since she gives random procs on attacks, then who has more attacks than the Hulk? It doesn't exactly work how I thought it might, but I still think it's a pretty good team up. Of course, once again we're taking on an Iron Fist team, and he starts out by hitting us with the Warbringer Axe. Mind you, that wasn't even on his turn. It must have been a big and fast proc. So, with us in pretty serious trouble, Scarlet Witch is going to be up next. And you can see that our Hex Spheres now has Hallowed. I actually believe I gave Catastrophic with Calamitous, but she can give that as well. I'm pretty sure. Basically though, what you'll want to do is mouse over all your attacks, and then you can see what Scarlet Witch is giving your Age of Ultron teammates. It could be anything from a quick action, to stealthy, hallowed, and so on. It gets pretty awesome, I have to admit. But our agent is down. That's right, man down. So hopefully we can still pull this win out. With the Hulk, we're going to go ahead and finish off the enemy agent, and that at least removes that annoyance factor. We also know we have to take Molly out before she uses her tantrum, but we have a Blaster Scarlet Witch, and that will definitely help. This time I believe she gave herself Ethereal Strike, Guaranteed Crit, Ignore Defense, and Paragon Exploiter. So you're going to see that on all of her attacks. Pretty serious business, right? I mean, that's going to make quite a difference. So what we're going to do is use our Hex Spheres, and then we'll just let Hulk finish off Molly. We should be pausing to see what his attacks have added, but we're just motoring on through. It does appear, however, that he did have a quick action, and so he's going to get an extra turn, even after using his level 9. So I figured why not use it again on Iron Fist, and it could possibly take him out. We could have used our setup move, but after a small debate, we just went for it. Unfortunately, he lives through it, so that means he's going to heal. And it's a massive heal. So much for nerfing that. So here we see Guaranteed Crit, Ignore Defense, Paragon Exploiter, and that'll be on our level 2 as well. But I think what we're going to do is just use our probability field and try to buff our team. I'm pretty confident that the Hulk can either take him down or knock him very close. Iron Fist really does get annoying, and I'm very tired of facing him over and over again. But hopefully Hulk smash. It looked like we had Hallowed on our attacks, which doesn't help that much. But that could come in pretty handy in PvE, so that could be an interesting thing. Especially if you know you're fighting vampires, or demons. Iron Fist on his turn of course heals once again, and now we're just going to go all out attack. First we'll use Hex Spheres, setting up our level 2, and then we'll use an Arcane Blast. So that time we did have a quick action attack, and we end up getting a follow-up attack as well. So we are easily going to take down the enemy with Hulk's final turn. We'll begin with our Thunderclap, and then we're going right to Giant Size Hulk Smash. That's how this one's going to end, and it will be the end of our first look at the AOU Twins. I hope you enjoyed it, and there will be more to come. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, good luck and take care.